Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the first video, first installment of my mission to figure out what was my father doing all those years after he abandoned me in 1990 at the age of 6. And not all these things will cover stuff he actually did in the 90s, but if he wants to claim that he had important stuff to do, let's examine stuff that he's claimed that he did before I was even born, to even see if he's any kind of an extraordinary person that he claims to be. I mean, let's look over some of the facts. Today we're going to deal with whether or not my father invented the stealth fighter. Ooh, the stealth fighter. And look out next week, because we're going to do one on whether or not he invented the ion drive, which he claims he did. So, who invented the stealth fighter? Well, the answer to that is obviously not VonHelton, not my father, because he lives in a trailer, and he wouldn't have a clue on how to invent a stealth fighter, even if someone came in and tried to explain it to him, because he wouldn't even understand the language. Basically, a Soviet invented the stealth fighter, if you really want the truth. Pyotr Ufmitsev was a Soviet mathematician. He published a seminal paper. It was called Method of Edge Waves in the Physical Theory of Diffraction. That appeared in the Journal of Moscow Institute for Radio Engineering, and then it picked up from there. But basically he showed that the strength of a radar return from an object is related to its edge configuration and not necessarily the size of an object. And furthermore, this Soviet mathematician, he didn't just come out of this from nowhere. I mean, he literally was following up on work from other scientists dating back to the mid-1800s, but mainly Arnold Sommerfeld, the famous inventor from the early 1900s. This is a guy from the time of Einstein. He died in like the 1930s, but Arnold Sommerfeld is the guy who introduced the second quantum number, and also known as the azimuthal quantum number, and the fourth quantum number, the spin quantum number. And he also, and Arnold Sommerfeld, and again, we're talking about Arnold Sommerfeld. This is a guy who was most active pre-1920, okay? And his research in introducing those quantum numbers and basically researching the fine structure constant, which is a well-known factor in X-ray wave theory and technology, is what pioneered any kind of X-ray wave theory technology. So you can thank that guy for the X-ray machines that you go, if you break your bone, you go get an X-ray, and basically all of our radar technology that we have today. In 1975, the first stealth fighter, anyone who's looking into this knows all about the Hopeless Diamond. They called it the first stealth fighter model in 1975, the Hopeless Diamond, because it was shaped like a diamond. Now, we have a chain of scientists and inventors that we can name going back to the mid-1800s, but I'm only going to go back to the beginning of the last century, because who has all day to really trace back the entire history of the events that led up to the invention of stealth aircraft, or objects any aerial objects that could avoid radar, then the technology that has to do with that. So I don't see VonHelton in the pre-1920 helping Arnold Sommerfeld revolutionize X-ray wave theory. I don't see VonHelton in the 1960s helping Pyotr Ufmitsev, the Soviet mathematician. I don't see him anywhere there. Where was he in 1964 when that Soviet mathematician published his paper, The Method of Edge Waves in the Physical Theory of Diffraction? Where was VonHelton? And other than that, really, how old was he in How old was VonHelton in 1964? Because he claims that he just invented the stealth fighter when he was a kid, right? Isn't that the claim? So basically, he invented the stealth fighter, like all the components, the whole concept of what it is. He invented it. Or you could choose to believe what I'm saying to you right now in this video, which is he didn't invent it because he hasn't invented anything in his entire life and he knows nothing about anything. He doesn't know how to bathe. How is he going to invent the stealth fighter? Okay, so that's been our edition on the stealth fighter. And you can tune in next week when we talk about the ion drive. Did VonHelton invent the ion drive? Did he really invent the internet abbreviations such as BRB and AFK and LOL and ROFL? If he did, I would be ROFLing. Is poet Robert Frost really VonHelton's true uncle? Is he related in some way through ancestry to Vlad Tepes? Did his father really serve in the Navy on both the Pacific side of World War II and the other side? Was he on both sides of the world at one time? Or we're going to figure all this stuff out on VonHeltonJr. So stick around, motherfuckers.